It's 7 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon, so you know what time it is. It is time for your weekly episode of Look Around The Confederation. I'm your host for the evening, Moose. And before we get started, please remember, the views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are not necessarily the views and opinions of the SCV, its GEC, nor Division Brigade camps of subsidiaries. How is everybody doing in Dixieland tonight? Tonight we have a special treat for you as we have the California Division Commander, Todd Terry, on to give you an update. A address of the division, if you will. So he will be on after we get through the news. I'm seeing a couple people in the chat tonight. Get this episode shared out, everybody. I will be trying to share it to groups during the commercial break. But it is good to see you. Ryan Rogers from Camp 1824, Robert Corbin. Hey! The Kentucky Division Commander made it on time. I'm just paint me shocked. Good evening, Commander Thompson. It wouldn't be an episode if our Kentucky Division Commander didn't show up late. Just wouldn't be an episode of SCV Chat. Jason Lloyd from the Turner Ashby Camp, Winchester, Virginia. Good to see you. Oh, the Virginia Division reunions this weekend. Well, I hope you'll have a great reunion, sir. Let me know what comes out of that. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I just remembered a bit of news. Please don't text me news. I always forget to upload it, and I have to do stuff like this live on air, and no one wants to see me talk like this while looking at my phone. So just please, it really helps me out if you email it so I can upload it all from one place. Just 1 second as I find this news, because there's not much news tonight. The Commander Terry is probably like looking at his computer, screaming at me like, "Stop taking up my time, Moose." And no, that's on me. So I completely forgot about it, but it is an awesome event. So I don't want to not talk about it because I've been wanting to go for years. So let me scroll down to my screen. I hope I don't forget about it and knock it up with Commander Todd's news. That would be tragic. Have to cut him off in the middle of talking. He's too nice to tell me not to do. Look, he's on YouTube. I don't know if I've ever had a guest comment on the show while that might be an SCV Chat first. That's going on the gag reel. Holy crap. That is fan-flippin-tastic. That's going on the gag reel. Oh, gosh. That threw me off 100%. Yes, Jason, please send a lot of news and pictures from the Virginia Division reunion. I'm happy that our Virginia brothers are about to have a hopefully successful reunion. I know it feels weird that Mississippi's around the corner, and Alabama, because they don't want any Mississippians coming to theirs, joking, put their reunion usually on the same weekend as ours. So I hope Alabama has a good one. You're welcome, Moose. I'm glad I made your night. Well, Commander Thompson, I'm still not over Todd. I'm glad you were able to make it. And I did tell my father the other day when we were going to a camp meeting together, only to realize we drove up to the camp meeting on the wrong day. That you invited us to WrestleMania, 1 year. And my dad said, we'll see what we can do. Jason Martin, good to see you from camp, from the Turkeytown Valley Camp 1512, and Al from the Dr. J.B. Conwan. I'm just going to say Camp 155, Al. Al's a longtime viewer of the show, and I'm not going to insult him any further with mispronouncing his camp's name. If it makes you feel better, I mispronounced my own camp's name at a division reunion. So if that makes you feel any better, and I was just elected adjutant. So if that makes you feel any better, the adjutant of a camp completely butchered his own camp. I think I called my camp the Samuel H. Powell camp. It's Poe. Completely butchered it. And I remember on the ride home, my father was like, if you're going to be an officer of our camp, can you please learn how to say the camp name right? And I was like, well, I figured that's the least I can do. All right. Everyone should experience WrestleMania at least once. I do agree. I'm a big wrestling fan for those who don't know, and it is WrestleMania season. So I've been catching up because Connor and I decided years ago that let's have a show on Monday. And right in the middle of Monday Night Raw. So I have to watch clips online afterwards. So I've been catching up on that. It seems like it's going to be an interesting one. All right. I think we have a decently good crowd. If you are in, and I think I saw someone from the California division. Yes, Zeb from the Albert Sidney Johnson Camp 2048 out of California. Good to see you. If you are in the California division, I have a special request for you tonight. Please share this out. Let's try our best to get a good California crowd tonight. I know y'all can do it. And for everybody else, still share this out because the California division is on fire for the cause and leading the charge in a lot of areas that I want to talk about tonight. And they did a lot of great things. We're going to have Commander Todd tell us about, and I can't wait to get into that. Next year is in New Orleans. I'll go to a New Orleans or a Nashville one. I would rather Nashville because I have been robbed in New Orleans before. A very nice robber. He only took $20. He was a very nice man. He even apologized afterwards, and me and my friend were just woken up. I hadn't had my coffee yet, so I just handed him $20. I was like, "Did we just get robbed?" Yeah. I was. There's your chat story, surprise story. I was held at knife point in New Orleans, did not realize it, and thought he was a beggar. So there's your story of my New Orleans trip. And funny enough, I still go to New Orleans on occasion, but I would rather Nashville. All right. Yes, it also is the Masters for our golf people. Is that right? I don't watch golf. I'm sorry. I'm a basketball guy at heart mostly. So we just got through with March Madness, meaning my season is over. But real quick, let's jump into the news. So the Sons of Confederate Veterans Camp 1460 presents the 28th annual Barton Vincent Lecture featuring guest author and historian Derek Lindow. It will be July 26th at Graves County Public Library Community Room. Program begins at 6 p.m. Admission is free and all are welcome. So please go make sure to check that out. Event. That's it. Eric, please don't start something in the chat with golf is great for sleeping. We're going to have some brothers and sisters in this chat of the Southland that like golf. I will personally never get into it. One of my best friends loves golf, loves it, played it in college. And sometimes I'll go over to his house while he's playing golf or watching golf, and like I'll nearly fall asleep. And he tries to help. He'll put on videos of golfers raging and breaking stuff and like cussing up a storm, which I find very entertaining and funny. But still, I'm not a golf guy. I'm the first to admit it. Hey, David, good to see you. It's okay. Commander Thompson's always late to a show, but it's good to see you from the General the Brigadier General J.J. Alfred A. Mooten, Camp 778. Give me $20. Why would I give you $20, Eric? I don't. Are you going to hold me at knife point at National Reunion? Are you going to wait until I'm like half awake? Because that's what happened. All right. Next event is the homecoming event. The pilgrimage and Confederate Memorial Day service will be held at the Southern Historic Center, Elm Springs, or the Southern Heritage Center, Historic Elm Springs, in the National Confederate Museum, May 3rd from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The memorial service will start at 11 a.m. at the Jefferson Davis statue. Keynote speaker is Mr. Ron Kennedy, past Chief of Heritage Operations of the Sons of Confederate Veterans. Music will be by Strings of Secession. Individuals, camps, brigades, divisions, and organizations are encouraged to bring a floral tribute and to be announced as they lay their floral tribute. The weather in southern Middle Tennessee, like everywhere else in the South, can be very unpredictable. It may be sunny and hot. It may be cold, rainy and cold. You might need a jacket. You might need sunblock. You might need both. Welcome to the South. Please dress appropriately. The service will be moved inside if the weather gets too bad. Bring a lawn chair and refreshments. And remember, chat heads, no alcohol allowed. Apparently, I'm getting robbed on air by Eric, who's just demanding $20. I'll send it in with my dues, Eric. How about that? I'll send it international with my dues. Yeah, I'll write a check out to you. By the way, I'm a lifetime member. Let's see. Golf is for men that can't hunt or fish. Ooh. One of my friends would heavily disagree with you. Oh, wow. Thanks, Todd. Yeah, the moose hunt. Wow. Thanks, Todd. We've lost Todd. I don't see him on the screen anymore. He might not be able to speak tonight. But yeah, moose hunt fee is $20. All money raised will go to the forest statue. Putting it back up, everything like that. So yeah, you get to shoot me with a Nerf gun at National Reunion right before the oratory. I might wear a onesie. Who knows? Yeah, it's like $20, or you can go on scvchat.com, get the Moose Hunt 2025 shirt, and you get like 4 extra shots, maybe. Like you could be like Adam, who shot me in the forehead repeatedly. Everybody's just exchanging money in the chat. Give me money. How about that? I'm the one that got robbed. Good to see the Florida man in the chat. But also at the homecoming event will be the first annual Southern Showdown Car, Truck, and Bike Show. Will be held at the Southern Heritage Center. Please use the Park Plus Drive entrance. Registration is from 8 a.m. to noon. The show is from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. The awards will be presented at 2 p.m. Donation of $20 for the first entry, $10 for an additional entry from the same owner. No advance registration. Free admission for spectators. However, all donations are appreciated and accepted, with the proceeds going to the Samuel R. Watkins Camp 29. The awards are as follow: the People's Choice Plaque, $1 per vote. Commander-in-Chief Plaque, the Best of the Show Plaque, Best of the Class Plaque for each class. Food truck, this is what I'm looking forward to: a mobile cigar lounge, museum tours, and a historic Elm Springs tour. For more information, please email srw29scv@gmail.com. That's srw29scv@gmail.com. Whew, all right, I'm out of breath. I am out of breath. Let's see here. TMI. What do you mean TMI? What? That your boss, Adam Southern, or the executive director of this esteemed organization, shot me in the face with a Nerf gun right in the forehead? Yeah. The 2022nd Annual National Confederate Memorial Day Service will be held on the Memorial Plaza in front of the carving at Stone Mountain Confederate Memorial Park Saturday, April 19th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. The keynote speaker will be Commander-in-Chief Walter D. Donnie Kennedy. This event is sponsored by the Georgia Division Sons of Confederate Veterans. Arrive at 10 a.m. and enjoy bluegrass music by Jubilee. At 11 a.m., a cookout will be provided by the division, and then at 11:45 on the Memorial Lawn, the memorial service will be followed by a Cannon and Honor Guard salute. National Confederate Memorial Day at Stone Mountain Park in front of the world's largest Confederate monument. Be sure to bring family, friends, and enjoy the park after the service. They are asking as many people attend this as possible. They want a big showing in front of the mountain this year. Needed Cannon and Honor Guard reenactors. If you have an artillery piece or serve on the crew of a gun, we need your cannon. We are offering a cannon bounty based on the size of your artillery piece. If you are a reenactor and would like to serve in the Honor Guard, we would be honored to have you participate. Please contact the information below. We need your help. The contact for this event is Georgia Division Commander Tim Pilgrim at timfpilgrm@yahoo.com. So please make sure to go check out that fantastic event. Why is everybody asking me to give money? I legit might have just $20 on me. I'm a broke man. Don't become self-employed. Don't become a broke college student. There's my one per episode. Moose should give me $20, and then I'll donate it to the Forest Rides again. Why don't you donate me the money? You get to shoot me, and then I donate it. Get in line. I'm robbing them first. What is up with? I get robbed, and y'all turn it into let's get us some money. Y'all are some sick individuals. Confederate History Month event Saturday, April 26th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. will be held on the historic square downtown Fayetteville, Tennessee, at Lincoln County Courthouse, hosted by the John R. Massey Camp 152 of the Sons of Confederate Veterans. The events are as followed. From 11 to 11:30, information about finding a Confederate ancestor. From 11:30 to 12 p.m., music by Tater and Joe. From 12 to 12:30, Tennessee State Senator Janice Bowling will be there present, or speaking probably. At 12:30 to 1 p.m., Dr. Michael Bradley. From 1 to 1:30, SCV member and Tennessee State Senator Dr. Joey Hursley. That's what I like to hear in the same sentence. SCV member and senator. First off, congratulations, Tennessee. This is not the time to talk about it, but I'll talk about it in a second after I get through with the event. From 1:30 to 2 p.m., a memorial wreath laying at the Lincoln County Confederate Monument by the Tennessee OCR Black Rose Society and Confederate reenactors. Everybody is welcome. For more information, email the Dixie Observer at gmail.com. First off, that's what more divisions need to be doing. Let's get more representatives in this organization. We used to have governors, doctors, lawyers, all these people in this organization. I'm a farmer. So obviously I'm on the opposite end of that spectrum, but there was a time where our political opponents were too scared to come at us because of that, because we had members in this organization. So let's get back to that. I want to do a whole episode on that, so we'll talk about that at a later date. But just one more time, I'm going to put this event up here for y'all. Make sure to go check it out. And the last event of the evening will be the event that I have misplaced. Where are you? Ah, okay. I see it. No, this is not the last event. I don't know where I'm at. But we are getting into some more news sent in from the camps. Did I mispronounce his name? Okay. Well, I try. Lincoln County, the home of Jack Daniels. I met him in college. All right, let's get into some of the camp news. Let's see here. First, we're going over to our lovely camp in Tennessee, the W.W. Hartsteel Camp 314 purchased a billboard on U.S. Highway 59 in Marshall, Texas. See it in the daytime, see it in the nighttime. Lamar Outdoor Advertising states 79,000 people see this billboard a week. First off, wow that a camp is doing that. Just wow. Congratulations to the Hartsteel Camp. And keep up the great work, gentlemen. That camp has been on fire recently. They've been sending me a lot of great stuff, and I cannot be more happy to see that y'all are doing so well. And I would like to bring y'all on at some point. Y'all have a lot going on too, and so I always love to hear different ideas. What's working, what's not working, what might work here, what might not work here is fine. But let's get on and talk about it. So congratulations to the camp. And now we go to another camp in the Army of Northern Virginia. Let's see here. The Pennsylvania Vindicators Camp 828 placed a new Army of Northern Virginia flag on a pole and placed flags for the Stones. We have been helping them with the cemetery since last year. There are 19 Confederate graves and 5 Revolutionary War graves. So we have placed Betsy Ross's flag for those gentlemen. We wanted the cemetery to look good for Confederate History and Heritage Month. Well, gentlemen, y'all have done a great job of doing that. Beautiful cemetery. Great work by Camp 828. As always, congratulations, gentlemen. Y'all are doing fantastic. Next bit of news is this weekend. Starting tomorrow, the 45th annual Battle of Pleasant Hill. From Friday, April 11th to Sunday, April 13th. Entry fee is $5 per person. Kids aged 5 and under are free. Free parking, reenactments, activities will take place 3 miles north of Pleasant Hill. Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. will be a school parade or school day. At 6 p.m. will be a parade at downtown Pleasant Hill. From 7 p.m. from 10 p.m. a concert in the courtyard featuring next of kin. Concert entry is $5 a person. Personal ice chests are allowed with a $20 cooler fee. Saturday, the property opens at 11 a.m. to the public. There will be historical demonstrations, settlers, modern food truck and vendors, park at the battlefield parking area, free for settlers. At 1:30, opening ceremonies, 2 p.m., the battle and reenactment. At 7 p.m., a period ball and court presentation. Period dress suggested. And at... Oh, I missed. At 11:30 a.m. on Saturday, have a guest speaker at Battlefield Hall. Free and open to the public. Sunday at 10 a.m., the property and camps open to the public. At 10 a.m., church services will be open to all. 1 p.m., a crowning ceremony of the 2025 Miss Battle of Pleasant Hill, and followed by the opening ceremony. At 2 p.m., a battle and reenactment. Please visit Battle of Pleasant Hill for more information. For all the people involved in the Battle of Pleasant Hill and wanting to see, first off, some Yankees get whooped, make sure to go check that out. That is a great event that I'm just jealous that I can never seem to make. It seems like there's always something going on. This year, I'm going to be celebrating Easter with my family. I will blame my grandmother. She doesn't watch a show because she's on the road right now, so I know she's not going to yell at me later till she rewatches it at some point. But that's fine. So yeah, I can't go, but it's a wonderful event, just absolutely fantastic. Pleasant Hill, Louisiana battle this weekend. Yes, it is very Confederate friendly. Merit awards for camp members needs to be getting done now. The deadlines to have them to division commander. Okay. Well, we have a quick announcement from HQ from our membership coordinator, Eric Pravetti. Merit awards for camp members need to be getting done now. The deadline to have them to the division commanders is May 1st. Division commanders are to have all awards nominations turned in to the awards committee on the national level by May 15th. Do not send reunion merit awards to headquarters. You must send them to your division commander for approval. Yes, it is a great reenactment, and they have a beautiful monument on property, which I was at that dedication. Wonderfully done. So, yeah, please go check that out. And, I've been waiting to talk about this event. It is also this weekend. So, if you can't make the Battle of Pleasant Hill, you need to make this. The second annual Yellow Hammer Jammer, sponsored by the Alabama Division Sons of Confederate Veterans, will be April 12th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Cedar Battlefield Park at Cedar Bluff, Alabama. Musical performance will be by the Pleasant Grant Band. I'll get it out. The Bailey family and Brendan Young. Special performance by Billy Damien and balloon artists and musicians. Food and drinks available. Games for kids, adults, food prizes, historical presentations, and many other activities. Bring your ice cream freezers and pop-up tents and lawn chairs because there's no admission free to enter the park. So make sure to definitely be checking that out. And we have one more event or one more bit of news, and we're going to jump into tonight's main speaker. Let's get into it. The city of San Antonio has issued an official mayoral proclamation recognizing the Alamo City Guards Camp 1325 as a group of living historians committed to preserving and sharing Texas Confederate heritage. This is not only just a massive win in general, but something that needs to be talked about, including their contributions to Tejano Confederate soldiers who fought for the South. This was signed by Mayor Ray. This proclamation commends the camp's efforts to educate the public, restore historical cemeteries, and promote a deeper understanding of Texas's war between the states legacy through non-political and inclusive programs. It affirms the group's role in honoring Confederate History and Heritage Month and and Confederate Heroes Day in Texas. The timing of this proclamation also coincides with the camp's 50th anniversary, a milestone to its continued service to historical preservation across South Texas. So, two things. Congratulate on your 50th anniversary to Camp 1325. And congratulations on this magnificent bit of news and proclamation. Y'all have done a phenomenal job and continue to do so honoring our Tejano veterans. So thank y'all. They also put up a monument. We talked about that before to the Tejanos, the first monument to Tejano Confederate veterans. So make sure to go check that out and congratulate them on their 50th year. We are going to take a quick Pop-Tart break, and when we're back, the California Division Commander, Todd Terry, will be on to tell you what the Alabama Division has been up to. So make sure to check out that our commercial breaks are sponsored by scvchat.com. If you want a place to buy some lovely t-shirts, support us and check out our special videos of the month, watch episodes live, check out our favorite archives, see some goofy pictures of Connor, and much, much more. Check out scvchat.com. And if you want to help reclaim the narrative, like our guest tonight has, hey, make sure to join us on Patreon. You get exclusive content like that special video we updated today that is starting to take the internet by storm. Our Patrick Henry video, go check that out. They got to see it first on Patreon, and we like hearing opinions. They get 2 shows that only they can watch: the after show, PG-13 version of SCV Chat, which goes crazy at times. And of course, the Moosehead Book Club, which will be starting doing new episodes soon, along with a ton of other special content. For just $10 a month, you help us push the narrative, reclaim the narrative 1 week at a time, keep us on the air, make sure we can continue making better and better content and continue to get out to the public and teach them true Confederate history. So please go check us out on Patreon. And again, for $10 a month, I'll see you there. We'll be right back after this commercial break with Commander Todd Terry, California Division Commander.
There is a place nestled in the rolling farmland of southern Middle Tennessee. A home constructed in 1837, nearly lost to the ravages of war. Saved by a servant and a Confederate general. A place where families loved and lost. If walls could talk, what stories could be told? If a place, a home, can feel love, loss, pain, surely this is one of those places. Nearby is a more recent structure, and inside are the stories of heroes and heroines, stories of battles won and lost, stories of sacrifices made by the people of its native soil. A place that will tell the true and complete story of the Southland and the war fought for its freedom. From the causes that led to the conflict to the modern-day struggles to protect Southern history. Historic Elm Springs and the Confederate Museum at Elm Springs are the general headquarters for the Sons of Confederate Veterans. A place where the story of the Southland and its historic struggle is preserved and told. Come and discover your history.
Always a great commercial break. Again, that is sponsored by scvchat.com and scvchat on Patreon. And I'd like everybody to welcome California Division Commander, who probably thought that we had forgotten about him at this point, Todd Terry. How you doing, Commander?
I'm doing great, Moose. Thank you so much for having me on here and, giving California a chance to join the narrative nationally.
Well, we are definitely happy to have you on, and I know we got a lot of news to get through tonight for y'all, and a lot of great stuff y'all are doing, and we're probably going to dive into a lot of it. So expect this episode to go a bit over, everybody. But you did mention up that your division is celebrating its 30th anniversary, or just celebrated it.
We just celebrated our 31st. Last year was our 30th. And a lot of people don't realize that there is a California division. Before us, the UCV had a Pacific division. So we're lucky enough to follow in the footsteps of those men who came west after the war and, settled here to make lives.
Well, I'm glad that y'all are there to honor these men's legacy, and y'all are doing a phenomenal job. And I did see, I'm going to spoil it for everybody, a UCV thing. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm going to let you talk about it. Picture that we're going to talk about shortly. But first, I do have this picture, and we'll kind of go down the line and talk about this.
So that is a half mile from where my wife and I live. those are the graves of Southern soldiers who settled in this immediate area and had a large impact on the founding of our town. They're all buried there. That's part of what I do, is take care of their graves. It's all part of our division grave guardian program. But it's just an honor to be able to take care of those men that have nestled all in that one area. It's located along an old wagon trail. When they would come over the mountains from the Los Angeles area, it was just a wagon stop, and the cemetery was created close by.
That's awesome. And you say you take care of it, and your
Yes,
wife?
sir. Yes, sir. We both do.
That's awesome. And the next picture is something you gave me a little what's the word I'm looking for? Surprising knowledge about my reaction to it. I didn't think I acted this, but I did. I went back. I looked at the video of the picture of it while I was talking to you. I was like, oh yeah, there it is. There's my facial reaction. But y'all's billboard.
Yes, sir. I think it kind of surprises a lot of people when they see this, that, California actually put up a billboard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we just happen to be in an area that is pretty welcoming. And I'm going to let everybody in on a little secret tonight. We've got 2 camps that are working on putting up 2 more billboards. One in what we call the Upper South. We don't use the N word up there. And then we've got one in the Lower South. The camp is looking at putting a billboard there. So hopefully we'll get a total of 3, maybe even more up. But they're in the works. And I've talked to the city managers around, and they've been supportive, and nobody's really, thrown us a curveball and said, take it down, because we're not going to.
Well, that's awesome. And I'll put it like this. If there's a definition of hostile territory, you would think would be California. And if the California division is working their tail off to make sure they can have this, I think every division can work their tail off to at least get 1 or 2 up.
We are definitely behind enemy lines here.
Well, yeah, you couldn't really tell by all the stuff y'all are doing. Golly. This next bit looks like a parade.
Yes, sir. For several years, we've been openly asked to be the color guard for an Old West Days event and lead the parade to kick it off. And so, we line up at the beginning of the parade and march down the street and kick things off. We wear our uniforms. We set up an information booth, and that's been a great little source of donations for us to allow us to do great things. They just welcome us with open arms.
That is just awesome. I love hearing about color guards and marching in parades. And when I first saw this picture, I was like, California. Y'all are just nailing it over and over again, and y'all are doing great work. And yeah, no, that is awesome though, that Old West Day asks you guys to start it off every year.
Yes, sir. It's been a great event, and the organizers, they just ask us to be there and represent, and they let us do our thing. And we don't get a sideways look or anything. The crowd is welcoming, and we get to tell our story. We get to tell the truth, our side of the story, and we get people to listen. It's a great family event.
Well, everybody, that is a great example of getting involved into your community, and the California division has done that greatly, as you can tell. And that's why I harp on it so much. y'all don't even get a sideways look in California because people are actually almost looking forward to seeing y'all every year, seeing y'all start off the parade. And that is just how it should be for our heroes. Because that's who we're doing it for, not for us, but for them. So that is just another great accomplishment in y'all's hat. If y'all did not think I was going to be congratulating California a lot tonight, by the way, you're going to be gravely mistaken, because I think they're one of the most hardworking divisions. And if you don't think that by the end of the night, I don't know what to tell you.
We try, Moose. We try.
Oh, y'all are. You can stop saying y'all try. Y'all do.
So that's a photo. We have our annual Reconfederation here in Central California, and this is a local cemetery, and that is the grave of the wife and daughter of a Confederate soldier buried nearby. Those are the last two wooden markers that were in the cemetery. About a year ago, the one on the left is the wife. Somebody destroyed it and took it away. And so we were able to remake that marker and get it replaced. We traced the outline of the daughter's marker so that we could match the design of the original, and got it replaced. The cemetery is doing exceptional work of ensuring that the history remains as it should.
Well, that is phenomenal and great work by y'all.
Thank you.
I don't know if I've ever seen a wooden headstone. It's become such a rarity. And I'm actually extremely pleased and happy that y'all are keeping that alive, and not only keeping it alive, but making sure that history isn't lost.
Well, that's the problem we face in today's society is it either gets rewritten or told the way someone else wants to hear it. And when you can actually do your own research and back it up with facts and point them in the right direction, it's not just a comment coming from you. It's an actual fact that they can double check at their own leisure. And it just kind of sets them back and makes them kind of think what they've been taught. And I think that's kind of how we win some of these small little skirmishes. It's not the big battles that you're going to win. It's the small things. And if you can slowly change minds or even just make them rethink what they've been taught, it puts that seed of doubt in their mind, and they'll seek out the truth. And that's what we're here for, is to let them know our truth and let them make their own judgment.
I couldn't agree more, Commander. And as I said, y'all are doing a phenomenal job with that. And next up, it looks like y'all have a speaker.
Yes, sir. So this is our division historian who's taken it upon himself to portray President Jefferson Davis. And so he's got a nice little speech, and he's got his box, and he gets up there and he does a 5 to 6 minute speech up there to the public. And, you get people drawn in, and, they listen, and he talks about, just the important facts and presents that side of history. We always see the person portraying Lincoln, but you don't often get to see President Davis. So he does a great job of getting out there and doing it, and working our side of the history.
Well, that's awesome. And it looks like y'all are at a fair too. So I'm guessing y'all are able to reach a good bit of people. So that is awesome. And the next picture I teased at the beginning, and I've been wanting to hear the story ever since. And I think I just jacked up the pictures. Yes, I did. There we go. This huge
right.
TV drum.
Yes, sir. So my wife is amazingly supportive. And so she's always looking at different apps or websites for Southern related items. And it just so happened this item popped up. This is an actual UCV drum from the Texas Division HQ. And I did a bit of research on my own as to the hardware on it, and it matches a version of the drum that is in the Gettysburg Museum.
Oh, wow.
So this drum, I'm working with Adam Southern to try and get this drum shipped back to the National Museum where, people can enjoy it. Right now it sits at home, and my wife and I and the cats take a look at it, and we admire it, but it needs to be somewhere where everybody can see it. The skins are gone off of it because of its age, but it's just a phenomenal piece that was basically headed for the trash pile, and we just couldn't let it go.
I don't blame y'all. And a wonderful, wonderful addition that would make to the museum. And hopefully y'all can get that worked out soon, because I know I would love to see it next time I'm up there. But great job there, and absolutely outstanding history right there. And I hope to see it goes to a place where it'll be loved. And now this next picture. And now again, if I'm rushing you on any topic, if you have anything to say, you're more than welcome to butt in. I try to give you a warning before the show, but this next piece I also am interested in because I've seen this. We've talked about it a bit. We haven't gotten back to you yet, but this.
Yeah. So for my birthday this year, my wife got me a laser engraver. And out west out here, you might run into the VA headstone periodically for the Southern soldier that has the Cross of Honor on it, but most of them do not have it. So I kind of thought, we need some way of marking these graves. So I found a place to get these tiles. These are black granite tiles, and we're engraving them. And we've got some of the cemeteries that are allowing us to place them alongside the headstones of the soldiers that are there. Now, this is one that we just placed. Our Southern Brigade commander, Frazier, got that placed at the same cemetery as the wooden markers. And so, I've got the capabilities to go ahead and personalize it, put the man's name on it and who he fought with. And he went ahead and he placed this in this big slab of concrete and delivered it that way. And the cemetery director was more than happy to have his guys just dig a hole and plant it right there in place. So it's it's just one way that we can ensure that all of our men are recognized for their service out here.
And I think that is a phenomenal thing to do. We set a stone for my ancestor recently, me and my father, that depicts his service in our cavalry here in Mississippi, because he must have been a very simple farmer and very simple man. He had his date, he had his name, his date, birth, his death, and a scripture. That's all he wanted. And his wife was even more simple than that. She just had her name, her years of her birth and death, and just wife and mother. That she was a very simple woman herself. So we decided to go out there and depict his military service, and that's something we didn't even think about. That I see. This is why I love having division commanders on, and especially something like California, where there'd be no other way we could talk and communicate other than this, and seeing what y'all are doing, and that is just phenomenal work.
Well, I want to thank you and GCB for all you do. If it wasn't for this program and me catching it, we wouldn't know what's going on nationally. And this has been a game changer for us to listen in and find out just what's going on across the Confederation.
Well, that is all I wanted to accomplish with this. So if this show ended tomorrow, you had made me a very happy moose, because this was kind of something. This show was kind of my brainchild. You know, all three, me, Connor, and the Candyman, all got together to make the Monday show. But this show was kind of like, you know, the Monday show, it's all about Southern entertainment and education. I was like, I want to show what we just talk about SCV news and what camps and divisions are doing. Because National, if there's breaking news, National will come on the Monday show for that.
Right.
So this has been kind of my dream to do this one. And so thank you very much. That means a lot to me, Commander. And one of your members made my day the other week when they were like, "Oh, we didn't have a speaker, so we just put on chat." And I was like, "Yeah, that's honestly all we've been wanting." So thank y'all. California Division is probably some of our biggest supporters, and we are just happy to have y'all as brothers, and hope to see y'all at reunion if y'all can make it.
Well, yes, sir. I will be there. And you'll have a couple other division members out there as well. I've already heard. I'd like to give a big shout out real quick, if I can, to past Commander Chuck McMichael, ATM councilman, for making our reunion this year. What a pleasure it was to have him out, and just a great time.
I saw that picture, and we posted that when you got elected a division commander. I was like, wow, first off, congratulations to Chuck making it from Louisiana to California. But I hope y'all had a great reunion. And if you are in the California division and watching, please come talk to me during National Reunion. I'll be a bit more free this year, not by much, but I will be happy to talk to y'all and just hear what all of y'all are doing.
Yeah, you saw me rocking that really cool gray shirt, you know, with the.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that shirt before.
Yeah.
He was, for those who haven't seen the post yet, you should go and share it, by the way. He was wearing it. One of the original, this is how long Commander Todd has been watching. One of the original chat t-shirts, some of the first ones we did, I could tell because of how the font looks on the shirt. And so that is just phenomenal. And I believe those went to the museum. So that was a shirt well spent.
I am a chat head, so I am a supporter, you know, and I encourage everybody to do it because it's a worthy cause.
Yeah, and thank y'all for supporting us. And yeah, if you want to see the definition of a real chat head, you definitely have to go to California. Let's see here. We got some YouTube people tonight. Tony says, appreciate you, Commander Terry, friend of the SCV here. What is the best way to follow what the California Division is doing? Is there a website or something like that? And I didn't even think about asking for y'all socials.
There you go. CaliforniaSCV.org.
Did you put it in the chat?
Yes, sir.
All right. It'll pop up in a second for me, and we'll put it on the screen. But yeah, definitely go support their website, everybody.
We've got an events and links page. We try to keep up to date as to, you know, events that our camps are participating in. So that's kind of the most up-to-date news that we put out. If not, you know, you're more than welcome to message me, and I can, you know, keep you in the loop.
Please do, everybody. Let's try to support the California Division. What was that website one more time?
It is California SCV, .org, not .com. My bad. CaliforniaSCV.org.
Making sure I have everything right before I put it on the page, but it will be scrolling across the screen for everybody wanting to support the California Division.
There you go.
I did make sure the link works, so you can also go check it out in the chat below. That's what I was doing, but we still got a bit of news and some interesting stuff I see, so we're going to jump into that. And if there's any questions, please let me know. I will try to answer them as they come across my attention. And the Albert Sidney Johnson Camp 2048 Facebook page from Zeb. He's a camp member of that camp located in the California Division.
Yes.
No problem, Mr. Tony. Happy to help. Love seeing people connect. All right. So some of your pictures, for some reason, didn't zoom in, but this looks like a lovely Iron Cross dedication.
Yeah. So that picture that you threw up before of the cemetery with all the pinpoints on it, this is included. So this was a dedication that we did last year, last June, for a veteran who had been buried 112 years and did not have a marker.
Oh.
So through a tad bit of research, and there it is there after unveiling. So interesting story about that Iron Cross. That came from the same place that drum did, but that Iron Cross was actually headed for the scrapyard. And so when we saw that, we were like, yeah, we'll take that too. But yeah, this man, John Stewart, he was one of the founding fathers, so to speak, of the area. And when he passed, his wife just had enough money to bury him, and she left the area, and he went unmarked for 112 years. So it was a great day to be able to get his marker out there and let it be known where this man is.
And
the UDC, was present. The OCR was present. And we had division representatives there. It was a great ceremony.
Well, it looks like from the pictures, a great ceremony. And if you want to know what the SCV mission is, there it is in that picture. We got to honor, or y'all got to honor, Private John W. Stewart of the Company A, 27th Virginia Infantry, it looks like. And that is just a phenomenal thing to do. I love seeing our ancestors honored like that. And I cannot thank y'all enough for doing that for this veteran.
You bet. That's what it's about. That just sums it up, like you said. I kind of like the inscription that was on the Arlington Monument. It's not for fame or reward, not for place or rank, not lured by ambition or goaded by necessity. And that's kind of how we all kind of should live our lives in the SCV. We do it for these men right here, not for our own personal gain in any way.
Amen. I feel like me and you, Mr. Todd, could spend a whole episode talking about just that subject right there. From what we said a bit before the show that we're not going to go into. But,
that'd have to be an after show type thing.
That would definitely be an after show. Maybe I'll bring you on and we'll talk about it anyway. But I couldn't think of some better words to live by, honestly, when it comes to how to act and how to forward yourself in the SCV. I made a whole talk on that. And I'm going to steal that inscription now. I knew about it, but I never, just with you saying it in that context, it never really dawned on me. So I'm definitely stealing that. And I guess that episode can continue to make some more people angry. So
as a man that has Southern history, that's how I want to live my life, by that inscription.
Well, I don't think you can do it any better than that, Commander.
Thank you.
And so the next picture. Okay.
That was another item in that collection that we were able to save. That was an actual UDC highway marker for the Stonewall Jackson Highway back east. We returned that to the daughters. And so they're working on trying to figure out exactly where that came from. As a division, when we are able to find these things, we try to get them returned back to their rightful owners, and the daughters are the ones that placed them. So this belonged to the daughters, and we made sure that they got it back.
Well, that is awesome and great work, by the way, finding this and saving this for our sisters of the South, I like to call them.
Yeah.
Our lovely UDC women. I love, by the way, and Todd probably knows this with how many times he's watched the show. I love seeing the SCV and UDC work together along with the OCR. So that is just a massive win. And of course, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. It's was surprising to me that this made it all the way to California.
History is a crazy thing, ain't it?
It is. It is. So here's another local event right here in my hometown. And this is right in front of City Hall. It's these organizers here actually sought us out a few years ago at a reenactment, and we had a tent up and an information booth and every flag you could think of that flew during the time period. And they wanted kind of a history lesson, and we did. And they invited us to this event, and we passed it off to a camp, and they attended, and now the organizers they're just make it as big as you want, make your presence as big as you want. And so we're going to take every opportunity we can to educate and to, tell the story. But, I walked up and down the street with other members with this from the division and the camp, and we flagged up and down Main Street, and we didn't get a like I said before, a sideways glare, a boo, or a salute or anything. And we got, some yips and yays, and it was just, we walked up and down the entire route, and it was just a great time. So, look for this upcoming event in October. They're going to hold it again. We're going to make our presence quite a bit larger. They want us to provide the color guard for it, so we're going to do that.
I better get some pictures.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. If we don't put ourselves out there, then we don't get invited. And it's nice to be invited and requested to be there.
Yes, sir. And we talked about this earlier, and I just want to hop on this to the chat heads listening. Getting involved in the community, making people want to have you there. Try having a color guard with a third national at a city hall in the South. It's impossible almost. I know of a camp in Mississippi that was like, let's not have the third, like they were asked not to have the third national. And here is the California division in the most probably maybe Yankee state in the country. Y'all are probably there, and they can have their third national, our third national, and more importantly, their third national, our ancestors' flag at City Hall, and be invited.
The interesting thing about that flag moose is we had two of our camp members participate in the forest reinterment. And one of them is in the video standing guard over the coffin of General Forrest. And that flag actually got to lay on the coffin for a brief time. So we regard that flag highly.
As y'all should. At least they didn't cut you out of the Forrest documentary. Every time my face is about to be shown, they cut off camera to someone else. And so I have blamed past Commander-in-Chief Larry McClooney for that for years, that he didn't want me in the videos because I was one of the last honor guards, and they just cut my face off every time. So that's my running joke is Larry McClooney must hate me.
Well, it's I may have the title as commander, but that title is just a title.
Mhm.
It's really all of our members collectively that have made everything we do possible. It's not about one man. It's not about me. It is all about our members, and they try and try and try. We get shot down a lot, but we're taking a few little victories here and there. And when we can work into it and build on it, then we're going to.
Well, y'all are definitely doing a phenomenal job. Do you want to talk about now something? You said you want to talk about something tonight, and I know it's going to rub some people the wrong way, but I do think with your success that you've shown in these pictures, might be a good time to bring that up. Do you want to, Commander, or we can bring you on another time to talk about it? It's up to you.
No, that's fine. Go ahead. You can intro it and
Oh, he's throwing this back on me. He's
you
smart.
intro it and I'll pick it up.
So you've got me with this one. So as you've seen in California, in the definition of Yankee territory, remember, you don't have to be from the North to be Yankee. You don't have to be from the South to be Southern. California division proves that in multiple ways. But as you've seen, they've been asked to attend events with the Third National, with the battle flag, with the SCV logo. But you made a good point that it didn't start out that way. And sometimes, as my father always said, he always hated that youth let people play basketball after church. But as he got more wise, he understood that if it got them into church and got them saved, that was the most important thing. And because I'm a Christian, I take from that philosophy. Y'all have not always been able to have the battle flag at events, but instead of, you're not running away from it, but you're getting people in the door to educate them. Could you kind of expand on that?
We use the Grave Guardian program as kind of our lead into communities. When people see us out tending graves, or we have the opportunity to talk about who we are, we don't necessarily charge into battle waving the battle flag. We let them know right up front of the honorable things that we are doing in the community around them first. And that kind of opens up the dialogue. It kind of softens them up a little bit and lets them know that, just as our ancestors were doing honorable deeds, so are we. And we're not just taking care of our graves, of our soldiers, we're taking care of all veterans' graves. And when they find that out, they want to know more. And that's been a big winner for us. Once they find out what we're doing, then we can throw that battle flag and the logo up. And we're not against the logo at all. But it's kind of like this national billboard campaign. You don't see the logo or battle flag prominently displayed on it. Commander McMichael said, let's get them to the website and get them information first, and then we can talk about the rest of it. And that's kind of what we do here in California, is let's get them interested and wanting more information first.
Yes. And I want to point out to everybody, y'all aren't doing this to run away from the battle flag. Y'all are not ashamed of your heritage. The sad truth is, certain groups that I absolutely despise have stolen that from us and from our ancestors to dishonor it, to associate it with evil acts and evil thoughts. And I hope nothing but the worst for these people. But that has also been how the community has seen us. And that is why I think it's so important to get out into community, because people don't understand who the real sons, the real daughters are of the South. They don't understand us. They see these other people and they think of us. They see this and they think of them. And so I couldn't, and I'm about to shock a lot of people, I couldn't agree more with you. This might make sure I never win another election, so be it. Y'all are making me lose my hair anyway. I noticed that the other day. My hairline is inching back. It's all because of y'all. But I couldn't agree more. Sometimes, in order to get a major victory, because we're not running away, we're bringing them into understanding us so we can teach them about the battle flag, what it really means. And I mean, again, you've seen the fruits of this plan. City Hall, outside of City Hall with the Third National, in parades. I can see the Third National along with the first, so don't be saying they're just waving the first. I can see the third there.
Yeah.
They
like you've got comments in the chat there, Moose. If I can interject real quick,
Yeah,
we
go,
use the
please.
Gillis flag, the JP Gillis flag, the secession flag from California too. Most people don't have any idea what that is. You know, it when we fly the First National, people go, "Oh, it's a Betsy Ross," and then and then you have to educate them.
I would have just had to sit back there for a minute. Yeah, no. And I mean, you can obviously see where our founding ancestors took from their ancestors in that design. See, and I try to tell people, our ancestors weren't anti-American. They were the extreme Americans. They knew what our founding fathers wanted, so they even copied that flag. And remember, we had to change to the Second National because the First National was getting confused with the Union flag on the battlefield.
Right.
But I wanted to point that out. And I know some people are going to take that as a hot take, and I've already pissed a lot of people off this month with my SCV First episode. But I couldn't agree more. And look what they've been able to accomplish by getting involved in their community. They're getting asked to lead parade. They're not stuck in the back or stuck where people won't see them. They're leading the parade with these flags. And then people ask, well, what are y'all? Well, we're the Sons of Confederate Veterans. And let me tell you why we're not who you think we are. And I first off, bravo, because y'all have obviously done that plan to the max. And if you don't have to do that plan in your area, every camp is different. That's awesome. Great. Still go out there and educate people on the flag. But I think people are scared of being called ashamed of the flag.
Right.
And if you're truly Southern, you know for a fact that our brothers are never going to be ashamed of the flag. And I would be 100% against changing the logo or something like that officially. But, you know, we have other flags that people don't associate, but they're actually flags that our ancestors served under. So educate people, bring them in to play basketball, as I did with that church analogy. And if you get them thinking and you get that mustard seed of doubt, or you get them to switch right then, or if they still hate us, you've at least done your job trying to change the narrative of how people not only see us as the SCV, but our ancestors and our ancestors' flag.
Right.
Because that's, at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to save, is save that flag from this unwarranted hatred it has. So really, you're serving that flag, making sure that it can become loved again. And that's just something we have to do in this war that we're in, people. What I call the culture civil war for our heritage. We have to be smart, and we have to do things that they're not going to see coming. And this is a great example of that. But before I take any more of your time talking about a topic I've already beat to death with a dead horse, let's jump into this picture now.
Yeah, that's from the same photo in front of City Hall. One of our members kind of snapped that. And I'm also the commander for Camp 2048, the General Albert Sidney Johnston camp. And I didn't know it at the time, but he just kind of held that photo up that we bring to events. And he snapped a picture of me in front of the information booth holding the flag. And I just thought, that was just kind of a neat little photo, just kind of capturing the moment, and the interesting thing we get asked a lot is, are you guys reenactors, or are you guys dressing up? And they're kind of shocked when we tell them, no, we're not playing dress up. We are actually the direct descendants of the men who fought in the war between the states. And that kind of rocks them back and makes them think, well, who are you? And that's another way that starts the conversation. And it was just that was just a cool photo. I thought that our lieutenant commander, who is now our division lieutenant commander, snapped. And I was like, oh, that kind of fits, the day. That kind of summed it all up.
Yeah, that is a perfect picture. And again, if you want any more success, people, or proofs of success, the California Division Commander is here to give it to you. And we actually have one of your members. I live in Northern California and fly the Bonnie Blue at home. The battle flag seems to trigger some folks. Let's not be nice. It triggers everybody everywhere. But when you use the body flag, people are more intrigued, and they seem to look like they ask for more or want to learn more. And that's why you have to sometimes do stuff like this. Is not only is it a gateway to teach people, but to change their opinion about the flag, so one day people don't have this negative look upon the war between the states and the South. That's just how we have to do. We have been playing catch up for way too long, and this is one of the ways we can majorly play offense, everybody. So I couldn't agree with you more, Mr. Tony.
Yeah.
All right. And this picture cracked me up the first time I saw it, and I cannot wait to hear the story.
So same event, but yeah, but as the day wore on, and the local PD is walking around, they wanted to know who we were, and here they are. It's you just draw them in. This was just prior to me to flagging the entire route, but it's just being there, being active. And as you can see, we've got the Gillis flag right out front. So it's just that mentality of drawing them in, drawing the public in, and letting them ask questions without offending them before they get up to you. Get them there, let them know who you are as a division, as a camp, as an individual, and educate them. It's I would much rather have them come up and ask questions and let them see the battle flag in the background than to throw it out front and have them pass by. Let them stop, let them ask questions. But these fine gentlemen were doing their duty, keeping everybody safe that day. But it's just a good all around, it takes everybody to want to learn a little bit more, and they did. They stayed as long as they wanted, and they got right back to duty.
That is phenomenal. And yeah, again, if you want to see more proof of this method working, yeah, 2 police officers. I don't know if a police officer that would come near us in uniform in the South. I've seen it a couple times, but it's becoming more and more of a rarity. So again, California Division has something we can all learn from today. And that's why I love doing these shows, because we can all pick up ideas and learn from each other.
So that is from our actual 2024 reunion, or reconfederation, as we call them. We don't use the U word. And that's our group photo. We've got a really great host hotel. We have a massing of colors prior to the banquet that everybody has the opportunity to bring their camp or a personal flag that they want to hold up. And it just so happened one of the members had this great battle flag. We were able to stretch out, and like I said, the hotel is just graciously accepting of us. We've been there for quite some time, and we'll continue to go there. But this is out in their gazebo area, and it's just a kind of a tradition to, it's a massing of the colors, like I said, and it's just great to have everybody there and participating.
Yes, sir. And I mean, that is a phenomenal picture, by the way. I love that. I might steal that for the next Mississippi Division reunion. That is just a wonderful picture. And again, I do love that California secession flag, because it's very similar to what we in Mississippi call the Beauvoir flag. For those who don't know, Jefferson Davis, his last home after the war was in Beauvoir in Mississippi. He's a Mississippian. He's a Mississippian. All right. That's my one per episode on that one. But it's a First National with a star in the middle, and it looks like y'all's is a similar design. And the soldiers that lived there on the property after Davis passed said that the stars outside represent them now, and the star in the middle represented Davis. So that's a cool story for Mississippi for y'all. I know that design is not unique to Beauvoir. I've seen a lot of people have the First National with a star in the middle, but that was what the soldiers came up with to represent themselves while they stayed at Davis's home after he passed away. We turned it into a veterans home here in Mississippi.
Well, I will bring you a California secession flag to national, and I'll pack it, and you can proudly fly a California flag, out there for you.
I wonder how people visiting my farm would look and be like, "Oh, what's that flag?" Well, it could be looked at as the Beauvoir flag, but also the California secession flag. And I guarantee you, in southern Mississippi, I'm gonna get some questions like Mr. Tony said, and I'll use that to talk some praise about y'all. And we're almost done, everybody. We have went a bit over time. That's my fault. I like to talk, and this has just been one of them episodes. But we got a bit more news to cover, with this one being something that I've heavily been intrigued in.
So when the world went crazy, that is a bronze plaque that was on the largest monument to the Southern soldier on the West Coast. That was dedicated in 1925. And some of our division members were responsible for rescuing this after the monument was taken down. It was put in storage, and the grounds it was on, they needed it to kind of leave the property. And so the division members were, gracious enough to donate their time and go out and rescue this. But this was a piece of California history that sadly, had to be removed. But it is safe, and it's not going anywhere. So it, probably not in my lifetime, but hopefully in another's lifetime, this might end up, or a representative of it might go back up on the West Coast. Who knows? But
hey, hopefully we can make it happen one day.
It would be nice.
Looks like we have Army of Northern Virginia Commander Jamie Graham in the chat. Good to see you, Commander. You missed me and Commander Todd basically sending a message that I know will piss people off, so you're welcome to rewind it at some point and watch it. It's too deep to really cover in a quick second, Commander. So you can rewatch this video, because Commander Todd has been showing us how the California division is probably working harder than some of the Southern divisions. And now that's Moose, another hot take.
I'll let you know, Moose. Right now, our division's only 214 members. So we work hard. But yes, like I said, when we get that opportunity, when we can get that door to open, we kind of stick our foot in it, and we won't let them slam it. And then we let them know we're here to support the community first, and they can count on us to maybe teach them a little bit of history.
Hey, that's what we got to be doing. I've seen a lot of camps do that, but seeing basically a whole division, that is just awesome work. And again, California division's on fire. And this is the next one.
Yes,
sir. I think I know where this is going, and I like this.
So this is our division historian and our division quartermaster at a reenactment that took place. We were asked to come to and participate in a living history event on school grounds. So they actually got to take their sidearms loaded with blanks and fire them on school grounds
in California.
In California. They also had a cannon they got to fire off that day. Not us, but the blue guys. And they got both sides of the story, but the school was very receptive to allowing us to share our side of the story as well. The kids loved it. That was just a great time for them to actually be able to experience just the noise that those weapons made and left them in awe, and that's just another way for divisions and camps to look at it. If you've got somebody interested in doing an event or a teacher who wants to include you, pursue them,
please,
relentlessly. Our division prints out coloring pages that are Southern themed and hands out colored pencils to kids and lets them take them home. So it's just getting that Southern message out there.
And again, everybody, we talked about this earlier and it was a hot take, but look at the fruits of that plan. California division has able to have a school day. I don't know if you could have a school day. Like, I've seen it happen here in Mississippi. We got a couple camps that are still very good about it. And it's a great way to make sure youth gets involved, not only in reenacting, but the SCV, or at least interested in history. Again, just phenomenal work by the California division. And I'll agree with Commander Graham. He was headed to the Mississippi division or Virginia division reunion, like seeing California knock it out of the park, and that should be the name of the episode. California knocking it out of the park over and over again.
Well, thank you, Moose. It's like I keep saying, it's not about one person here. It's about all of us trying together and doing what we can and making the most of every opportunity. And like you said, we're not running away from the battle flag, but in today's environment, we've got to find a different way to get our foot in the door. So we're constantly looking at that. And once we're there, then we can give them that battle flag as a piece of history and be proud of it.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I think people misunderstand when you do stuff like that. Y'all are running away. Well, actually, they've been able to teach people. They've now been able to have the third national of all flags outside of the city hall, in parades, at tents. They're starting to be able to bring it back in the community and it not be hated, all because they took the time to teach the community. And they had to do it in a step that might even have made them feel a bit uncomfortable. But if our ancestors could have done everything we've done, we can do something like this to make sure that we bring honor back to that flag from the other people that stole it from us.
Correct.
But this is the last bit of California news, and we'll start to wind down for the night, everybody. But here is something I wanted to point out. Like, what is this, Commander?
So we, as a division, we came up with an idea last year of how can we reach like-minded individuals about joining the SCV? And we were lucky enough to get the placement of this ad. This went on the back cover of the Daughters magazine. They have their own audience. They've got the grandkids, the great grandkids, the family members with Southern heritage. So why not advertise in their magazine for our organization? And this is what we came up with.
And that is just, again, phenomenal. First off, I mean, I love, and I've said this all show, I feel like, but I love seeing the SCV and UDC working together, and that is a great example of that. And I hope y'all continue to grow. I hope y'all continue to have the success that y'all been having, Commander. And I hope to bring you back on the show soon.
Well, I appreciate it, Moose. And, I appreciate all the camps across the Confederation for all they do. It's just as hard for them as it is for us. We just happen to be lucky right now to have a few little items that we can throw under our belt and run with.
Oh, yes, sir. I mean, I definitely don't want to sound like I'm taking anything away from the other divisions out here, everybody. But California, I will say, I think it's one of the hardest working divisions, and they've really shown it. And again, I'm asking all divisions to come on this show and give an update because we all have stuff we can learn from each other. Tonight, we focused on what we can learn from the California division. I hope maybe next week or the week after, I'll mess with Jamie because he's in the chat. The Virginians, their division. I would love to see from North Carolina, South Carolina. There's so many divisions that have great stuff that y'all are doing. And I want to hear from you. I'm not trying to downplay another division. I'm trying to learn from as many divisions as possible so this organization can be the best it can be in honoring, representing, and teaching about our Confederate heritage, their history, our ancestors' history.
Well, that's what your show. That's what your show does. It's been a learning tool for us, and we're going to keep using it.
Well, please do, and I can't thank you enough for the California division support of SCV Chat. Maybe one day I'd love to get out there and film an event with y'all. Hopefully that can be a goal down the road. Mr. Army of Northern Virginia Commander Jamie Graham, we do what we have to do so we can plant the seeds that are needed. And I couldn't agree more when it comes to what we talked about earlier, Commander. This is something we have to do because of our enemies, what they've been able to accomplish themselves. And so, well, we're not going to quit. We're not going to run away from a chance to teach our heritage and our history because we're proud of it. So we have to do what we have to do. But after that, guess what? Maybe, just maybe, you'll start seeing battle flags flying at courthouses again. Maybe you'll start seeing monuments untouchable again. And it's all because we had to do the hard thing now and do what we do. And that is honor our ancestors. And BR back with, I would recommend flying the Betsy Ross flag, the Appeal to Heaven flag next to the battle flag. It shows continuity from 1776 to 1861. Couldn't agree more. Our ancestors had a great influence from our founding generation. George Washington was on the seal. Conservative thought, states' rights thoughts came from Thomas Jefferson. Again, there's a big connection there. And a lot of that also led into the war. So, yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Sharing ideas is what makes it work. And I couldn't agree more again with Commander Graham. And again, that was kind of what tonight was about. I wanted to put a spotlight on the California division. I've been wanting to have him on for some time, ever since I saw that there was a California division. And it's because of this man right here that I know there's a California division. You were awesome enough to send us a lovely care package. So I also have a lot of stuff with the California division logo on it, and I would never thought I would have something with a California division logo, but I'm proud to have it and proud to have received that from you in the division and from SCV Chat. I want to publicly thank you for that, sir. And
you are most welcome. You are most welcome.
And last bit of comments. I wanted to share this with Mr. Tony because also I want to talk about Mr. Todd tonight, a very big supporter of the show who has sent in a lot of news from California, even before he was division commander, making sure that y'all are represented. And yes, keep doing a good job, Commander. I will be looking forward to your term as California division commander and cannot wait to hear what more the division does. Thank you all for watching tonight. If you could, please thank Commander Todd Terry for coming on tonight to give us an update about the California division. And remember, chat heads, let's get into some of this. I got to copy some of this because I was not paying attention to ending the episode, so we're just going to take a smidge of a second. The 17th state in the Confederacy. Yes, absolutely. That is a great way to put California. 100% bless their hearts. They're the farthest Confederate state. But I do want to tell everybody to make sure to send your pictures, short videos, and write-ups to scvyouthoutreach@gmail.com, and you will be featured on the upcoming episode of Look Around the Confederation. Make sure to share this episode out so we can get the great things the California Division has done out of the Confederation, so we can all learn from each other, and to get all the news that we talked about earlier tonight. And make sure to tune in to SCV Chat this Monday at 7 p.m. Confederate Standard Time, same Confederate channel. We have a special episode for y'all planned. I'm not going to spoil it, but I will say we'll be commenting on fake history. Make sure to tune in to David Pope's Friends of Douglas Southall Freeman group for Friday Night Live. And as always, remember to stay Southern, my friends. Good night, everybody.
Good night.